Firstly, I'd like to thank the City of Coquitlam for their continued support of Evergreen Cultural Centre, and I'd like to invite Mayor Richard Stewart to say a few words.
Thank you very much. This is an incredibly wonderful day, and I certainly want to thank the Coquitlam Band for their contributions to our community, but to this exhibit. It's a really unusual exhibit. Evergreen Cultural Centre, we traditionally come here to look at pieces of art that have been created and for exhibit, but some of these pieces were created not for exhibit, but for very utilitarian purposes. They're created as tools. These are artifacts instead of art. And there's some history, some parts of our culture that most Coquitlam residents know very little about. I grew up in Coquitlam. I was born and raised here, and we didn't learn about our local Aboriginal community, our local First Nations community as children, as young adults. We didn't know that. We sometimes read an article in the newspaper, but we as a community haven't celebrated as well as we can, as well as we ought to, our First Nation. And I apologize for that. And I thank you for bringing this to us, for sharing this with us. I certainly thank Coast Salish, the Squamish, who have contributed as well to these works. Cedar, the salmon, are incredibly important, as we've heard, to our First Nations. They're incredibly important to our province. We haven't treated them very well as well. And we need work. We have work to do on our river. We have work to do on our forests. And so I thank you again for bringing that to us. I want to acknowledge one of our city councillors that's joined us today, Councillor Linda Reamer, has come out. We thank her very much. And I know that Councillor Sherry Carroll, there she is. Councillor Sherry Carroll from Port Coquitlam is here as well on the other side of the river. And that river, portions of that river actually separate Coquitlam and Port Coquitlam. That's part of our boundary, is the river. And if you walk the map or the image on the floor, or even better, if you walk the river, you will come to appreciate an incredible resource, an incredible part of our nature and part of our history, part that we need to celebrate more. And so I think today we get an opportunity to do that. This exhibit gives us an opportunity, perhaps a reason, perhaps enough information that we can come to a greater appreciation of it. And I thank you very much for that.